Today I had an opportunity to speak to one of my team members about the way that they communicated with their coworkers as well as with their supervisor. Of course, when I mentioned it to them, they said, or they thought, well, I'm not doing anything wrong. Maybe they have a problem with me. I don't have a problem with them. With every other issue that we had, it was always, well, I don't have a problem with that. Like, I don't mind doing that. And through this whole thing, we saw the common thread of blame somebody else. The challenge with that is the individual is not taking accountability of their role in the whole situation. As opposed to addressing the issue, they chose to go back to do their job. Again, it's easy to just focus on doing the cleaning of things versus addressing the emotional or the communication issue that's at hand. Now, I wasn't going to let them just let that go by because, again, therein lies the opportunity to grow. I've always told my team that this is not about cleaning. It's not just about cleaning. Yeah, that's what we do, but there's so much more that occurs when we're doing this. Being able to work with your team members, being able to communicate with your clients, being able to pay attention to what's going on around you, being able to grow within because work is there in order to help us in those areas. Hey, are you listening? Work, for the most part, is always there to kind of work on those personal things that we're dealing with, that we're working on, so that we can grow. I've said it time and time again, and it's the same thing. Put your hand down when I'm talking, okay? We are to find and use those opportunities that work gives us. So in that very moment, when that person was stating, hey, the way that you're communicating with me, I don't appreciate, there was an opportunity for us, or in this case, my team member, to kind of take a step back, pay attention to what is being said, and then address it. So what I did was, while we're having this interaction, I began to curse. Now, generally, I don't curse at my team members. And what my team member said to me was, Garen, you don't have to speak to me like that. You don't have to curse while you're speaking to me. And I continued to curse. Why? Because I wanted them to know that I was upset for this exercise. So I continued to curse a little bit more as I communicate with them, and I, use some language that I typically won't use. And at the end of the conversation, she said to me, like, you didn't have to use that kind of language around me. I said, why? She said, because you generally don't curse at us. Yeah. So how did it make you feel? Well, I don't like it when you speak to me that way. Okay. So if you saw an opportunity when I spoke to you in a way that didn't feel good, you were able to stop me and say, hey, Garen, you don't need to talk to me that way. And I responded the way that I did, which was to continue. And you again told me, hey, Garen, you don't have to talk to me that way. That lets me know that you get it. So when your team member says, I don't like the way that you're talking to me, you can also take a pause, a step back and say, hey, I hear you. You can choose to either continue speaking that way or choose to go a different direction. But because you knew that I don't speak to you that way, and you know that that person feels uncomfortable when you speak to them that way, maybe you could change. And that's all I want my team members to get. For them to go back to work and say, I'm just going to focus on my job, I'm not going to deal with that. That's a cop-out. Because you're not willing to deal with what needs to be dealt with. You just want to go back and do the easy part, which is cleaning. I tell my team, and I'll tell you, for us, it's not about the cleaning. It's about all the personal growth that one will get as a result of cleaning. As a result of being in the environment of cleaning, you get to work on yourself. I told my team member, hey, I'm working on me. If you choose not to take advantage of these opportunities to work on you, that's on you. Because in the end, if this isn't a good fit, we might have to part our ways. Now, I don't want it to get to that, but I'm going to be honest with them and let them know this is how we do business. We're going to use cleaning to work on our personal selves, and we're going to grow. If we're not choosing to grow, Clean Slate ain't the right place for you. Whatever you're dealing with your team members, man, knuckleheads like this one, right? Always take the opportunity to grow through your work to your success.